Hey, this is Not the Girl Next Door show, and I have special guests on the show today. I have Roses Unread. We've talked to them before, but we need updates. They have new music coming out. Hi, how are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Just been cooking and writing some music, and just kind of a chill day. John's in there playing Call of Duty. I was like, "Do you want to do this interview with me?" He was like, "I got to play with the boys." So I was like, "Okay." I was like, I got it. Don't worry about it."
So how have you been? How's the band been? How have you guys been during quarantine? I know a lot of bands have told me that they're doing more writing. They have more music than ever. How have things been? Because I know it's hard not to. I don't know if you guys are still like locked down where you guys can't play shows, or what's going on in Roses Unread world?
Yeah, we just had a show cancel. We thought we were going to get to play one in August with Sons of Texas, and we were really excited about it. Next thing you know, it's canceled, and we're just so bummed out. But it's like, what can you do at this point? You just ride it out. But I was really looking forward to that, and just we couldn't do it, and so we're like, well, what are we going to do? For downtime till we can't play shows. Well, like you said, we've been writing a lot. We've probably got about 10 to 12 ideas. A few of the songs are almost complete, but it's been a lot of that, just a lot of writing and, going live and, doing like streams, is either talking to people or, at our practice space or while we're back there in the studio writing. So it's been a lot of that. We did a few vlogs. They're on our YouTube channel, and yeah, it's just been kind of, I wouldn't say dormant, but, I just really miss playing shows a lot. And I didn't realize how much I did till this happened. And I'm just like, get me on that stage.
I know that's how most of the bands I've talked to have been. They're like, oh my gosh, we miss it so much. And I mean, as a music fan, I miss it too. And I'm in Illinois, and I mean, we have concerts popping up, like small ones and stuff, but I'm not at the point where I'm okay, because mask or no mask, usually when you go to a concert, you're in a crowded area with people standing beside you, and they're pretty close. So even if you don't have a mask, or you do have a mask, somebody is right, basically beside you within inches of you anyway. So I'm not ready for that, and I miss the shows just as much as you guys miss performing. I miss going to the shows too.
I mean, and it was probably a smart choice for them to cancel it. It wasn't like a tiny little venue. Like, it wasn't like a thing outside. Like, if it would have been outside, it probably would have been okay, because, you can kind of spread out still here. But this place is tiny. I mean, it can probably hold max probably not even 300 people.
Right.
And, I mean, when they have a pretty big show there, it's, you're just smushed together. So I'm thinking, yeah, it was probably a good choice that they canceled that, even though it slightly bummed me out, and I was kind of scared to do it anyway. But I think I was just so eager to get back up there. I was like, yeah, I just agree with everybody. Let's do it. And we can wear a mask when we get on stage, and then take the mask off when we get on stage, and then put it back on when we get off. And we were like, that's going to be the plan. And then next thing you know, it's off. So we're just like, well. And I've had people say, when are you guys playing shows? And I'm just like, we don't know. We have no clue. It's just, it's all up in the air. It's whatever. Time will only tell.
Oh, I know, because 6 months ago, basically 6 months ago, we didn't know we would be in the position that we're in right now. So who knows what will happen. We can only like positive vibes and wish for the best for everybody, for everything.
Yeah, it's just gonna take time, and we're just gonna have to ride it out. And it sucks, but it's better to stay healthy and do the right thing than just jump into something. So I totally understood. I was like, yeah, it was probably for the best, even though it was sad too.
Oh, completely understandable. Completely understandable. So you guys have new music and new music video. You guys always have killer music videos. The newest release you guys have is The Ugly Truth. Let's talk about that song and what it's about in the video. A killer video. Absolutely love it.
Thank you. We used somebody different this time. my husband, John, who plays guitar, he works in Dyersburg, Tennessee. And the guy, he actually works over there, too, and they were in, like, a meme group and kind of knew each other from, like, past things. But he was like, you you guys should let me, try to do one of your videos. And we were like, well, hey, we're playing our Rapture EP release party in Jackson. You should come out and maybe, film a little bit and so we can see how you do. And we went back and we saw it and we were like, oh my gosh, like this dude's really good. Like, no offense to the guy we've used in the past, like Seiji, the guy that did the other ones, he's awesome. But we just, we wanted to step out and try something, with somebody completely different, a new view, who did things totally different than the other guy. And we loved what we saw when he showed us that. And he was like, well, where do you want to go with this? And, we had all these ideas of, okay, we can put it in the house, we can, show a guy and a girl, and everything we said, it kept making me think of Better Off, our music video Better Off, and I was like, anything we do is going to look just like this. It's going to, whatever we decide to do, if we put it in a house, it's same content. Like, I even call them sister songs. They're so much alike. So he brought in a girl named December. Her whole name's December Rain Hansen, and she takes these, like, amazing photos. And just very artistic, and they convey like an emotion. So even though you don't understand the photo, you sense some kind of feeling from it. And after we had bounced all those ideas, he was like, hey, December, what if we kind of took your photos and brought them to life? And, like, you could convey loneliness, because, like, the whole song's about being lonely, like this person's been cheated on and in a bad relationship, and, the person's basically not there anymore. And so it was about loneliness. And I was like, he's like, can you convey, this loneliness and emptiness in all these shots? And she probably took less than a month and came up with all the stuff, and just, it was really genius on her part, because of like the dinner table scene. If you watch it, like, all the guys' plates are completely full and mine's empty. So, like, that kind of conveyed that, I was empty, I was lonely, and, like, I didn't even see them. They were just kind of like flies on the wall, or, just the elephant in the room. I didn't acknowledge them the whole time in the video, and they're wearing masks, which is kind of funny because of Corona, but they're wearing masks the whole time to make that even more lonely, like they're not there. And the way she just did everything, it was kind of mind blowing. And then the way he took the production of the film and how he did, like, he put it all together, like, they just fit so well together. And I think it turned out better than we even envisioned it. Like, we went back and we looked at a few things and we were like, oh my gosh, that's cool. Like, it was just totally different from everything we've done. And we're super proud of it. It was fun to make. We had like 7 locations and we did it all in like probably 13, 14 hours. We got it done all in a day. We woke up at 5 a.m. and ended at 6 p.m. And, 7 locations and got it done. There was wardrobe changes. I had to get in the van and change. There was a cop involved. We woke a cop up because we were like, can we shoot in this parking lot? And he's like, I don't care what y'all do. Like, we woke him up. he was kind of mad at us. And then we blew up the TV in my backyard, and like, we made sure my dad wasn't home because he would have flipped out. so we did that in the backyard, and I mean, it went very well for all the stuff that was involved in it. Like, it was crazy. Like, John says the worst part was loading the bathtub.
So speaking of different, and it I have to say that the song is a contrast from Rapture. So Rapture was like heavier, darker, and this song, even though it's about loneliness, it has a poppy feel to it. I mean, it's still, you have those guitar riffs that you can, definitely tell it's a rock song, but it has a little bit of poppy feel. Did you guys do that on purpose, the contrast of, a darker song and then kind of flip the switch and a lighter song as a comparison, or did you guys plan it like that or not?
Well, I want to say we wrote Ugly Truth before we did Rapture, and I don't really know what we were expecting, what was going to happen with the EP, but we were listening to a lot of pop when we wrote that song, like Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift and like Charlie Puth, and we kind of that's what we were listening to, so it kind of shines through, like not even meaning to, just your influences, how they come out, and we wanted to do something completely different than what we'd ever done before musically as well, not just with a video. And to write like a pop song with some heavy vibes, we really never had done that before. And the whole Rapture EP was basically, yes, we've always been Roses Unread, but it's like maybe Rapture and Roses Unread into something completely new that it never was. And when we got Rocky, our drummer, that totally changed the sound as well. So it was kind of like we raptured off the old stuff. We still play some of the old stuff, but the way we looked at things and how we presented things was just totally different from the past.
Do you think it's changed a little bit too, since you guys have had maybe more time to write and more time to look at things in maybe a clear perspective since being quarantined or since COVID or any of this? Has that changed, or has that made an impact on anything?
We actually wrote a song in the studio the other day, and it was called "Leave the Light On," and it's basically about like two people that can't get to each other because something in the world's gone wrong. So it has been pretty inspiring, with not even it meaning to, and I'm like, what gets in your head when your subconscious starts creating all these ideas. And sometimes I'll just like lay down by myself in a room and shut the lights off, and I won't have anything going, and then like all these ideas start happening. That's how those lyrics came. I was just kind of laying there, and it was during quarantine, and those lyrics popped in my head, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to write a song about this, and it's perfect timing. And we joke about the Rapture EP being perfect timing too. Like we're like, well, we promised, we didn't know this was going to happen, that there was going to be riots and viruses and everything else. Like it's kind of scary with all that stuff going on. But it was weird that we released that, then all this happened.
So then I guess my question is what comes next for you guys? You have a lot of music that you said that you guys have been writing and making. What's next for Roses Unread for 2020 in the foreseeable future? We obviously can't say, we're going to be playing this show and that show, but what's going on for the rest of 2020 for you guys?
We're actually talking to Alan again about doing another music video from the Rapture EP, and probably do that in like a few months. And then we were actually talking to our producer today about, coming in at the end of the year and recording some of these songs that we've been writing during quarantine. So probably a lot of that, just a new video, and getting back in the studio with some of these new songs, and we'll probably put some vlogs up and go live some more with things we're doing. So just trying to keep it entertaining as possible. So even though we can't play.
So where can people find your music? Do you guys have a website? Do you have merch? You guys have a pretty close fan base, as we've talked about before. You guys have some pretty hardcore fans that have followed you from the get-go. Where can people who don't know your music follow you guys, and where can they get everything that you guys have out there?
The central hub is rosesunreadofficial.com. And that will take you to, our Instagram, our Facebook, our merch store. It'll take you to all our videos, Twitter. I have a Patreon page. It'll take you to that. And basically it's like a secret page. We're actually live in it right now. So, like, they're getting to hear this interview before anybody else does. So it's like my little secret group. So that is
awesome.
Patreon. So I have 3 people in here right now listening to me. So they're commenting too as we're talking. So we have that secret page if you join the Patreon, and I send things every month. Like, it could be stickers, it could be pics, it could be drumsticks, it could be a T-shirt, just random different things. And we just hit over 100 patrons, so like kudos to all of them because they're awesome. We couldn't do it without them. Our fans are amazing. So I'm like trying to get some brownie points talking to them right now. But it's Roses Unread Official, and that will take you to everything.
So you just to end off, you've mentioned that you at the time when you guys wrote the song or were listening for The Ugly Truth, you guys were listening to a lot of pop music at the time. Who are you guys listening to now? Tell us, let us in your mind. Who have you been listening to lately?
I'm still on a really bad Taylor Swift kick. I know, like when we got Rocky in the band, he was like, "Have you really sat down and listened to Taylor Swift?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've listened to it." And he showed me like the Reputation concert, and like I just got hooked, and I could not stop listening to it. We even covered one of her songs. It's on our YouTube page. We cover "I Did Something Bad." Like, and that was my idea. I was like, I want to cover Taylor Swift and rock it out, you know, and it's, you know, we did, and it's like super fun to play live. But that's been nonstop in my car, and I've been on a Stitched Up Heart kick and listening to them a lot. And then I went back to Ariana Grande. Like it's been back and forth. Like I'll go pop, I'll go rock, I'll go metal, I'll go country. Like, you know, listen to everything, and that's probably you know, why a lot of those vibes you got, you know, where they come from. And yeah. I think Don's been listening to a lot of like metal. He's been listening to a band called Spirit Box. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I haven't.
But the girl's really good, and she can scream like really well. And he's been mixing, because he does like a mix thing too. He's been mixing ginger, and that's been fun. So he's kind of been on a ginger kick. And Jed just listens to like the most random stuff. Jed's our bass player, and I'm just like, why do you like this? And then my best friend, which is our merch girl, who is also dating Rocky, the drummer, like, it's just a big crazy, yeah, I know. But she's like, oh, I know that band, Jed. And I'm like, I've never heard of these people. Like, and I'm like, y'all's taste is awful. You know, we just like hate on each other like that. And I'm like, you need to find some better music. Yeah. But Rocky, he's been listening to a lot of Falling in Reverse. And I'm trying to think what else. He always comes over here and he plays stuff. And he got on a huge Lady Gaga kick, and that went on for a few weeks. I don't know if he's still jamming it or not, but yeah, we have a wide variety of musical taste in this band.
But that's what makes it fun. That's what makes the music interesting. I mean, like I said, I guess when I first heard the latest release, I thought, wow, this is a sharp contrast. I mean, it's still Roses and Red, but it's a sharp contrast from Rapture. So when I was like, whoa, that's way, like, it's kind of like lightness compared to darkness. Not that Rapture was like raw, you know, but it was, yeah. But yeah.
A big contrast, and this is like the first EP we ever put out that had a ballad on it. So if you listen to the last song, Zai, that's, you know, we've never done a ballad like that. And our producer, Dave Cowell, he was like, y'all need a ballad. You've never done a ballad. And I'm like, you're right. So I didn't really, how do I say this, like, I didn't want to write the song, but I knew I had to, because it was about a student in my classroom who passed away. And it was really hard for me to get that out, but I was so glad that, like, I was able to, and Dave helped me. It was almost like a therapy session after I wrote that song, and and it was like the perfect ballad, you know, and we dedicated the album to him and everything, and, you know, so there was, like you said, it's like dark and light when you listen to it. It's such a huge contrast from anything we've done.
But you guys definitely stay to your roots. I mean, you hear like I said, especially the guitar riffs and your melodies and your vocals. I mean, it's not like you guys. I mean, because you always hear fans talk about, oh my gosh, this band changed. You know, they're selling out. You know, I've heard so many people say that about, you know, hardcore bands that went soft or softcore bands that went harder. And it's like, no, music is art. You know, they're doing what they want to do regardless. So, no, it wasn't a contrast like that. But you guys do what makes you happy, and the fans will follow thereafter, I think.
I think Bring Me the Horizon is like a perfect example of that. Because, you know, they went from, like, deathcore to almost indie alternative. And, you know, and that's a huge contrast. And a lot of people hated on them for it. But, you know, but me being a huge fan, I've loved, like, everything they've ever done. And, you know, I just continue to follow them because whatever they put out's good. Yeah, people may call them sellouts if they change that much, but you know, I'm gonna still continue to love it. I mean, I think they're awesome.
Yeah, Highly Suspect was one for me that the last album that they made, everybody was like, oh my gosh, you know, because Johnny's rapping in it, and just people were like, I don't know, there's a lot of hate about it, and I'm like you when it came to them, because I was like, you know what, I like it, you know, it's totally different than anything they put out in the past, but I totally like it, and then to see them perform it live, it's like, whoa, because you're used to seeing other stuff before, and then you see this, and you're like, I don't know, it's kind of a good feeling because it's something that you haven't seen before. I think it's good. Like I said, music is an art, and interpretation is everything. So
yeah, and some people are like that. They want to hear the same album over and over and over. But I just, you know, I like to see artists evolve. What all can they do?
Yeah.
You know, and I just wish more people were open like that. But you know, everybody's got a different opinion. So you know, it is what it is. But yeah, like I was wondering how our fans would take this one because it was so different, but we've got some really good feedback from it, so I'm excited about it.
Well, I'm glad you talked to me today, and I'm glad you guys are doing well. And come back anytime. Come back when you guys have new stuff out again. I thank you guys and wish you the best.
Okay, sorry, I think you were cutting out.